Hey there, beautiful day. Like real estate agents who are primarily listing agents, their number one question for me is, Tim, how do I get more listings? So if this is you, do you ever feel like the only way to get your business to the next level is to do more listings? Well, I think you're right if that's you. But if you're like me, you keep trying stuff and it doesn't work, lots of promises and try this, and at the end of the day, I'm just left with a credit card bill and no extra sellers. So frustrating. And I honestly think that's the number one reason why listing agents and team leaders join Elevate Brokers, is because we laser focus on getting more listings. And I can stop them from wasting their money on all the stuff that I wasted my money on. So here's how I figured out how to get 2 listings for the price of 1. And that changed everything for me, and I'm sure it can get you to the next level as well. And it doesn't require a credit card, which is cool. So here's how it went down. I'd take a listing and I get all the staging, the photos, the drone, the video, everything all done. And then, it'd take about a week or so to get that done. And then I'd put the house on the MLS like the following Wednesday, with the first showings being at the Premier Open House, which was like that Saturday at 1 o'clock. And just a note here, make sure you have your sellers sign off on this just so that they know. It's not going to be a big deal, but just to protect yourself, that it's not going on the MLS like that very night. And they don't want it to, because they don't want it to go on the MLS until you've had your stager come out and the photos are rendered and the videos are done. They don't want to, but I'm just saying, just MLS rules, make sure you have them sign off on it. Anyway, my sellers also really like the fact that, I'd put it on Wednesday, and then we just group everybody in to Saturday at 1 o'clock. So they didn't have showings all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Saturday. All the buyers were coming in just that Saturday between 1 and 2. Look, I would also blast this out to my database of buyers, all the buyers, whether they were looking in that area, another area, because you never know. Hey, if it's a good deal, if this is a house we love, we might be open to it. Also, it's important, keep a list of agents who are active in that subdivision. If you're active in that subdivision, you know who the other agents are. You're always showing their listings, they're always showing yours. So keep a list, blast it out to them as well. Then what I would do is I would make sure that every major street leading to that house had open house directional signs, like a ton of them. I was like really fanatic about it. Maybe a little weird, but it worked. And as agents, I'm sure you understand what I'm doing here, right? Flooding the zone with buyers. And when buyers are there, they see other buyers there, and they start thinking, man, we need to make an offer before these guys do, because there's just a ton of people here. And again, this makes my sellers very happy, and it's going to make your sellers very happy, because you and I like doing a great job for our sellers. I mean, that's job satisfaction when they're happy, right? It's exceeding their expectations. You want to be awesome. So doing all this accomplishes so many goals. Now, here's something that I think you'll find amazingly transformational in your listing business. Guess who else saw those open house signs? That's right, the neighbors. But not just the neighbors. When I talked to them a little bit more, I found out that these were the neighbors who were really potential seller neighbors. And typically they fell into a couple categories. Number one, there was the expired neighbor, okay? So they had tried to sell it before, it expired, unsold, and they just got plain burned out on the process. Offers and inspections and appraisals and mortgages and open permits, and oftentimes they were just regrouping, just like building up strength in order to try it again. So they would show up. Second group of people there were sellers who were currently listed with an agent. So they're like, hey, I got my house on the market, but there's not like 20 or 30 people here. There's not like a traffic jam in front of my house. So like, what's this guy doing, right? Third, for sale by owners. I get a lot of them show up because they were kind of getting to the point where they were fed up by this entire process, because the only thing they know how to do is just do an open house. So they're like, so what's this guy doing that's so different? Because my open house is not working. Okay, saving the best for last. People who were thinking about putting their house on the market somewhere down the road. And I'll tell you why that's the best. Well, let me just summarize the 4. So I had people who were expired, didn't work before, people who are currently on the market selling, FSBOs who are kind of getting burned out, and like I said, the best for last is people who were thinking about selling now or somewhere in the future but had not yet contacted an agent. And these 4 groups of people were always coming to my open house to check it out, see what all the fuss is about, how does this guy do it, and then also just wondering, I mean, they would ask me, you know, when I finally get down, you know, get over to see them, hey, if I were to give you my house to sell, would you do the same thing for me? I mean, how does that work? Would you do the same thing? Would we have like 40 people here? Would all that happen at my house? I'm like, absolutely, yes. So, bottom line, as the title says, I would get at least 1, maybe 2 new sellers out of every one of these premier open houses that I did, like clockwork. Also, more importantly, and then we're done, people who were just beginning the process but were maybe a few months out. This gave me an opportunity to kind of talk to them without like being in an interview situation, so I didn't have to be all salesy and this and that, right? I could just talk to them as human beings. And, you know, let me just leave you with this to think about. Isn't this a group of people that you want to have a database of? You know? Now the now listings, yeah, they're really, really nice, and building a pipeline of future sellers, that's really life-changing. Number 1, it eliminates the ups and downs of real estate. I mean, you might know where your closings are going to come this month or next month, but where are they going to come 6 months from now? Who am I going to list 6 months from now? You don't know that. It also, and this is the big one, it eliminated my worry about where the deals were going to come from down the road. It seemed like every month I was starting from 0, and the lawnmower guy is like starting to mow the lawn next door, but every month I was starting from 0. And so knowing that I had a pipeline, like this was somebody I was going to list in like 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, something like that, that brought the joy of real estate like back into my life. That's what made it like fun again. So really cool. Anyway, I hope you can do this. Try this on your very next listing. I guarantee you it's going to yield great results for you. Okay? Until next time, think big and serve big. Take care.